Today on the premier high school sports show on the planet. 2 weeks to go and we are on a furious race to the finish line.
Regionals in baseball, softball, and soccer. Final Four action in lacrosse. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Let's plate this dish. State Champs is stirring the pot.
What's up, Michigan? Hope you are doing great. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Graduations, even if modified, happening all over the mitten, and we are in the stretch run of the high school sports season.
And congratulations to all of our brand new state champions in tennis and track and the Upers in girls golf.
And of course, this program brought to you by Lawrence Technological University. Recruit yourself at LTUathletics.com. Now, we've got not one, but two in the dugouts this week. Regional championship and state quarterfinals happening in baseball on the same day. Our DMC Game Changer segment is an important one. Tips for turning your weaknesses into strengths.
The total softball player of the year race has been incredible. The top 10 is now frozen and they were last minute changes. That's coming up as well, and that's just half of it. So let's get to the highlights.
Almost seniors, so last time playing here. Let's go. Last time playing on this field, right? Everything we got, every single pitch until the game's over. Let's hop on them early like we did last time. And let's score some runs, right? This team does not belong on the field with us. No. All right, let's show them.
We head downriver for a Division I regional semifinal with Woodhaven taking on the Bears from Wyandotte Roosevelt. Pick it up in the bottom of the first. Roosevelt threatening with a pair on. Ryan Mead gets a bat on it, and he loops it into left for the single. Emmanuel Gutierrez comes hustling around to score. They'd add another run to take a 2-0 lead after the first. It would stay that way until the top of the fourth. The cleanup hitter, Zach Phillips. Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? A solo jack for ZP. That cuts the lead in half. Still in the fourth, runners at second and third for the junior, Jose Gutierrez. He slips a seeing eye single into left. That scores Joe Henniger, and we are all tied up at 2 apiece. Bottom four now with 2 outs. Wyandotte's Donovan Cattenberry with the chopper to third. Check out Henniger. There hands it and guns to first in time for the out. And they are still tied at 2 apiece. Doesn't stay that way for long, though. In the fifth, Henniger with the poke just out of the reach of the second baseman's glove. The junior, Gavin Darnell, comes around across the plate. That gives the Warriors their first lead at 3-2. Sweet baby Ray Perez was solid on the hill for the Warriors. 4 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. He throws that sauce as well, striking out 8 Roosevelt hitters. The Warriors would expand on their lead in the 7th. The Michigan State-bound Ryan Shapaniak sends it back up the box, scoring Perez, putting Woodhaven back up a pair. More from the Wood later in the frame as Henniger comes through again with the hot shot that scores Shapaniak. Then it's Gutierrez getting it on the fun again, going the opposite way. Drew Thorning makes his way towards home. He goes in head first. Woodhaven scores 4 in the frame. They go up 7-2. Roosevelt didn't give up. They had runners at the corners in the bottom of the 7th, but Kyle Harris comes in and closes it out, striking out Meade to end the game as Woodhaven advances to the regional final. 7-2, your final score.
It was good. We battled a lot, you know. We never stayed down, never let ourselves stay down. And I'm just proud that we all stick together. We battled together. It was a great game.
You're so beautiful.
Love you, baby.
I'm Ryan Slocum, and we are on the diamond in Rockford for a regional semifinal between Rockford and the Huskies of Forest Hills Northern. Lucas Rick, he bangs it back up the box. Luke McLean gets waved home from second. The throw is off the mark, and Rockford takes the early lead. The Huskies looking to tie it up in the bottom of the frame. 2 on for the junior, Luke Conway. He gets the base knock up the middle. Jeff Sturts rounds second. He slides in safely to tie the game at 1. On to the second. Rockford with 2 on and 2 out for Mac Vandenhout. He grounds to second, but he beats the throw to first and heads up base running by Caden Curry, who scores all the way from second. Rockford goes back up 2-1. They were up 2 in the top of the third. 2 on for Brendan Schuler. He sends a shot the opposite way. That brings in Isaac Toole and Ethan Nash for a 2 RBI double. Rockford doubles its lead to 4. Jonah St. Antoine at the dish with a runner on first. He hits a grounder to Ryan Frohmeyer. He steps on second, then fires to first for the inning-ending double play. Jump to the 5th. The Huskies threatening with 2 on. Charlie Hartman with a hit just past the diving glove of the third baseman. Keegan Burr gets waved home from second, but Brendan Schuler's throw is right on the money. Mac Vandenhout applies the tag, holding the Huskies to just 1 run. Rams reliever Luke McLean looking to slam the door in the 7th, and he catches Charlie Hartman looking for the final out. Rockford beats Forest Hills Northern 5-1 to advance to Saturday's regional championship.
Welcome to another edition of In the Dugout, presented by the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. My name is Lauren Plant. Today we're joined via video technology by the head coach of the Rockford High School baseball team, Matt Vriesinga. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk Ram baseball today. Well, what do you like about your team most this season?
So we have a very large team. It's the largest I've ever had, and that includes 16 seniors, which is can be really difficult. But without having a season last year, and the class is a really good class. The chemistry that we have, they all get along well. They understand their roles. We do a nice job as the coaching staff trying to get guys on the weekends playing time, and so keeping everybody involved, which is challenging with 22 people on the team, but we've been able to do a nice job of it, and the kids have been just fantastic. So this is their energy and just how they get along and compete for each other. So.
There are a few players in Michigan high school baseball with expectations to be drafted into the major leagues this season. There are even more on the horizon maybe for next year and beyond. 21 years ago, you were drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals as a pitcher. So for the players watching, tell us about your pro career and what advice you would have for players being drafted soon. I mean, should you go the college baseball route? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I had an interesting route. I played Division III at Hope College and then left there and ended up playing at Western Michigan and was fortunate enough to get drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. It was an unbelievable experience. I played 3 years or so in the minor leagues. Met, some of my, idols of my dad growing up. Bob Gibson and Lou Brock, and then got to share a field with some guys who, are playing in the big leagues. There's one, Yadier Molina, I think is probably the only person that's still around who's playing. It's an incredible feeling to get drafted. I had a former player of mine, Jack Weisenberger, get drafted 2 years ago out of Michigan. Do you go? Do you stay? A high school kid, do you go?
Right.
If they're going to offer you $500,000, I don't know when another time in life that someone's going to offer you $500,000, usually 4 years in school. But then the mental makeup you have to have, because you're going off on your own, and it is. 140 games and 152 days in the minor league season is usually how it goes. And it is grueling. You're at the field for 12 hours a day. It's baseball all the time. You get to sleep in, but then you're still at the park until midnight. It seems like almost every night, and bus trips. So mentally, if you can handle it, a mature kid, I think it's a great opportunity. I think the finances come into it as well, especially with college baseball only being 11.7 scholarships. So you're still having to pay for school for the most part. But it's definitely an exciting time of year for all these kids who have an opportunity. It is something I'll never forget.
You've been a coach for well over a decade. You've coached at Grand Rapids Christian. You went to Calvin College and coached there before coming back to high school baseball. What made the Rockford job so enticing?
So after Calvin College, I had started up an insurance agency, still own it, and it was. I thought, hey, you know what? I'm gonna coach my kids, right? And that did not go very well. I love my kids; they love me, but I just needed to be a dad. And having my son over at East Grand Rapids, it worked out great this year because we played Tuesday, Thursday. They played Monday, Wednesday, so I could go and watch and play. It's great having somebody else coach your kid. I help them out in the summertime. The Rockford job. So I was out of it for 4 years. I want to get back into it. Talked about it. Talked to my family, my kids, and they gave me their blessing and knew something about Rockford, but at the time did not realize. At that time they had some players, Bryce Kelly, who had signed at Michigan State, who just finished up there, and Jack Weisenberger, and I was so far removed from the high school game that I had no idea what I was getting into. And then when I stepped foot in here, you realize. Some of the caliber of players that you have, and it's a big school, but these kids are multi-sport athletes, but they put in the time, they put in the energy. The families are fantastic. It's just a great school to be a part of. And yeah, I think it's one of the best jobs, if not, I think it's the best job in high school sports for baseball. I've heard that from others as well. And I agree with them. It is an unbelievable atmosphere, great facilities, and we have a lot of kids. We had over 80 kids try out for our program from freshman to varsity, which is awesome and brutal at the same time when you realize you're going to have to cut some pretty good baseball players. So Rockford's just been unbelievable, and so what attracted me to it was I just wanted to get back into coaching, and I was fortunate enough to land at a fantastic school. So you are the founder of the Rockford Baseball Academy, if I'm correct. Okay, you were. And is that organization still happening? And it is.
Yeah.
So we were looking. The whole thing came out of we were building a new auxiliary gym, and so we were looking for someplace to hit. And I had people going, hey, we're driving 30 minutes to go to these other places. It'd be nice to have something around here. And I am a huge proponent of Little League. So how we started it up was we had great dads. A lot of them are playing Little League. And then, hey, we can, an indoor facility for these kids to train at in the wintertime. And then be able to play a little bit more baseball in the summer, whether it's the early part. We have teams that end June, like right now, they're ending their travel seasons because they go into the Little League All-Star experience that they have. So it's going on. It's a fantastic place to go. And we have kids not from Rockford. We have kids from all over the place who are coming there. My biggest deal was I wanted a place for kids to come, get better at baseball, but just to be able to practice, to have an opportunity to throw a baseball in the winter or hit off a machine in the winter. We have fantastic. We were able to get a lot of either high school coaches or some college players or former college players, former minor league players to come in and do lessons or run clinics and camps, and so it's been a great experience for these younger kids as well.
All right. Well, last question. And as I was looking at your bio there, I saw that, and I just have to ask, you own a bearded dragon. Is that correct?
Oh, that bearded dragon is long gone now. It is. It was one of those. My son had it. I think his name was Esteban, and we decided to donate it to another family who could love on this thing as much as they could, because Dad was not going to touch it or take care of it anymore. The amount of crickets that you had to buy the thing, it was necessary to find another young child to deal with this thing. So, no more bearded dragon.
Got it. Understood. All right. And yes, for those who do not know, yes, they eat live crickets, and it's something to see, let me tell you. All right, guys. Coach, I really appreciate it, and thank you for coming on with us. State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show, is brought to you in part by Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramus of DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, and today on Game Changers, we're going to talk about how to take your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. Everyone has weaknesses, no matter how good of an athlete you are. You can usually tell an athlete's greatest weakness because they don't like to train that area. A great way to assess strengths and weaknesses is look at an athlete's engines and their braking system. What do I mean by this? Every athlete has to have an engine, something that produces power and speed, but then you also have to have a braking system that allows you to stop that speed and change direction or control that speed. Here's a combination test and drill that you can do to test your engine and braking system. Begin by standing with a bar across your shoulders. Then set up so you're standing, in this case, on your left leg balancing with your knee a little bit bent and your foot steady through the ground. This opposite leg is just standing as a kickstand. Now, your focus is your engine, so you're going to push through the ground and extend this hip on the left as fast and hard as you can, and then your brake will be your right leg as you land. Looks like this. Power and brake. Now I'm going to time to see how quickly she can go into power, engine fire, and then finish and stop with her braking system. Go! Excellent. Now let's do the same thing with the left leg. Balance, foot solid in the ground, slight knee bend. You're going to use the power of the ground and extending through this hip. Go! Good. Now she'll come back out of it and we'll do it again and check that speed. Ready? Go! Power and brake. Good. We'll compare the time it takes to accelerate for her engine to fire and then for her to brake and stop the motion, and compare those differences right to left. Then when you're utilizing this as a training exercise, you can do 10 repetitions on the right, 10 on the left, and as you progress, alternate. Do one right, do one left, and because that's what happens in sport. If you want to maximize your performance level, see an expert at DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
I'm Mike Erlitis here at Country Day in Beverly Hills for a Division III Girls Soccer Regional Final matchup. The Yellow Jackets of Detroit Country Day hosting the Regina Satellites. Picking things up early in the first half. DCD's Jacqueline Sarafa gets possession of the ball at midfield, passing it up to Victoria Miller, on to Madison Salzenstein with a nice lead pass up to Jordan John, firing a shot, but a diving save by Regina's senior goalie, Olivia DeSanto, keeping this game scoreless. Country Day with another opportunity just a minute later. Battle at midfield for control of the ball. Callahan Bearden with the forwarding ball. Freshman Victoria Miller rips a shot from way out for the goal. Yellow Jackets take the lead 1-0. Just a few minutes later, Satellites looking to even it up. Madison Oki passes it into the offensive zone. Mia Iacona comes up with possession. Her shot is saved by Yellow Jackets keeper Lila Beinhold. We go to under 20 minutes left in the first half. Country Day's Madison Salzenstein with possession. On to teammate Callahan Bearden. Her service ball on point as senior Gigi Gallant gets ahead on it, trickling in for the goal. Yellow Jackets with a 2-0 lead as we head to the break. On to second half action. Yellow Jackets at it again. Gigi Gallant passes it to Salzenstein. She makes a move around the defender. The pass in front to Miller. She dishes it to Serena Yu, who finds the net. Country Day up with a comfortable 3-goal lead. 15 minutes left to go in the match. Yellow Jackets with control of the ball. Sophie Endred with the pass. Serena Yu gets possession and finds the back of the net for the second time today. DCD up 4. Regina with one last opportunity to get on the board. Sydney Maxey with the free kick. Lila Beinhold comes up with the save once again. She makes it a shutout as Detroit Country Day takes home the regional final crown, advancing on to the semifinals, defeating Regina by a final score of 4-0.
It feels awesome. I mean, especially revenge from our freshman year, having been kicked out by Regina. So it's awesome to sort of come back. We know a few girls on that team and sort of prove it to them that like we've grown over the years and that we're a more talented team at the end. It was great.
It was really nice for the team, for everyone to show up, and we really came out with a lot of energy. And for this to be all our seniors' last games, it makes me really proud of our whole team.
I'm Chuck Pellerito coming to you from Novi High School, the host site for this Division II regional final matchup between the top two teams in D2. The 20-7 Notre Dame Prep Irish taking on the 39-1 Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets. Michael Sadecki gets the call for the Irish on the hill, and he had a clean first inning getting Ike Irish on strike 3 to pump up NDP. Brock Porter opposite him, and we had the makings of a pitcher's duel early on. After Jacob Anderson launches a 2-out triple to straightaway center field, he comes right back and attacks, getting Anthony Skykin to pop out in foul territory, ending the threat. Top of the second, middle of the order, getting it done for the Eaglets. Jack Crichton standing on third. Ryan McKay, first pitch swinging, takes it the opposite way. It falls, and Crichton and the Eaglets crack the scoreboard first. McKay ended up on second with Jason Oliver on deck. He grabs himself a ribby going oppo as well. McKay in to score. It was 2-0 after 2. Trouble brewing in the top of the third. Eaglets with bases loaded and a great eye by Oliver to take ball 4. Then Colson Titus does the same. And then Ryan Mooney breaks this one wide open. A line drive into right center field brings Nolan Schubart and Crichton in to score. Ball is bobbled in the outfield. Mooney on his horse. He clears the bases and scores himself. It was 8-0 game after 3 innings of play. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Porter still dealing. Runner on first, and check out the extension from Alex Mooney as he snares this ball. The flip to McKay at second, to Titus at 1 for a spectacular double play. Irish able to get on the board in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on first and second. Luke Babbitt up to bat. He hits a grounder to short. The flip to 2 is good, but the throw to first goes wide. Skykin paying attention. Rounds third, and he scores with ease. Brandon Skorupski came in the 6th inning, and his task was shutting down the Irish in the 7th. And he does. Picks up a K on Jacob Khalil. Then Michael Keolian. And then he gets Thomas Jovic to roll one over to McKay at second. The throw to Titus in time. And Orchard Lake St. Mary's captures the regional title 8-1 over Notre Dame Prep. They went on to beat Lutheran North in the state quarterfinals 15-3 after this game.
Time now for In the Dugout, presented by the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. About 7 years ago, Mike Rice was looking for a challenge. A high school product of the Catholic League, Mike played his high school ball at Harper Woods, Notre Dame. During his junior college baseball days at Macomb Community College in the 90s, Mike got an itch to start learning to teach the game.
Helped out Little League and started finding my way with just watching the boys grow, with being able to teach them things I've learned in the past. I had great coaches growing up, and sat the bench a lot, played a little bit, but listened a ton and kind of trickle it down to these boys today.
Flash forward 20 years later, had a good buddy coaching basketball at Marine City Cardinal Mooney and asked if he could help out. 2017, he was given the job of head baseball coach, his first head job. At the time, the baseball program barely able to field a team. The interest level was waning.
It was a different style program when I got there. I had a couple kids, I loved them to death. A couple of them showed up without hats, without mitts, and didn't necessarily know how to hold a bat. And again, that's what I get into. I like being able to teach the kids from the ground up. Trust me, I like getting the kids that are ready to roll right away, but adding tweaks here and there, it's a fun time.
Wasn't long before the Cardinals were competing for league titles. So the question is, how was Coach Rice able to change the culture?
Believe it or not, it started with our basketball program. Once we had somebody, it's a smaller school, right? So all of our kids either, they run track, play basketball, play baseball, and Coach McAndrews started that camaraderie 20 years ago, whatever it was, 22, 23 years ago, and they're coming over to the baseball program, and their expectations are the same. And we have a great JV program. Our bench players on varsity are phenomenal. You'll see today. They get rowdy and they root for the boys, so just a nice culture.
Success this season had to be earned. No 2020 to look back and compare notes. Definitely a challenge. That's when the coaching fraternity goes to work.
Right. Yeah, we try our best. I mean, with Game Changer out there nowadays, and a lot of us coaches, especially in the Catholic League, are really close with each other, so we give each other feedback based on who we're facing, who we face, so it's hard. I get out and watch. I mean, I get made fun of for being a baseball nut, but I go out and watch a lot of games.
Over 20 wins this season for Cardinal Mooney, ranked second in the state in Division IV, earned a berth in the Catholic League Championship. District champs, the Cards were competing for regional hardware this weekend. Coach Rice loves this team and what they've been able to accomplish.
Super proud. I mean, when I post something on Twitter saying I love these guys, I mean it from the heart, and they're just close. Like I told you, you'll see them today. They're all close friends on and off the field, and they all have each other's back. So I'm proud of the way they treat each other for the most part.
And how does he feel about the state of high school baseball in the state of Michigan?
St. Mary's, right? Trickle down with St. Mary's, right? I mean, yesterday they were got announced that they're ranked #1 in the country. Michigan school, right? So, it's strong. I mean, it's strong from the top bottom. We're Division IV. We go watch games. We try to emulate some of those bigger, better teams, but I think it's awesome. I mean, I remember in the mid-'90s. I think it's better today.
I'm Lauren Plant for State Champs. State Champs Michigan's high school sports show is brought to you in part by the Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA.
I'm Greg Molson at Troy Athens, where the Red Hawks were playing on their home field in a Division I regional final, taking on the Tars of Anchor Bay. And the Hawks strike first. Just over 3 minutes in, Casey Gruber showing off her move. She then lets it fly, and it slips past the keeper into the goal. Make it 1-0 Athens. The Red Hawks defense doing a great job protecting that lead, not giving up any good chances. Kayla Joyce getting it to Kendall Buckman in the corner, but her pass goes right to Nitya Balusu. Athens still up 1 going into the second half. Then check out this play. Bailey Fonestock with the free kick right to the head of Casey Gruber, the junior, with her second goal of the game to make it 2-0. That would be more than enough for the Athens defense and its keeper Balusu, who pitched a shutout in goal. Abby Main caps it off with one more goal, perfectly placed from long range. Troy Athens beats Anchor Bay 3-0 to claim its first regional title in 6 years. The Red Hawks moving on to play Ann Arbor Skyline in the D1 semifinals.
It feels amazing. Never in a million years would I imagine that I could score those 2 goals, but it feels great.
It's a huge deal, right? Yeah, especially after no season at all last year, and not really knowing. Not seeing your team for a year, not knowing what they're going to be. I knew we had some talented kids. I knew we had some special players, but a lot has to go right for you to go this far. You have to be good, and you have to be healthy, and you have to be lucky.
Time now to take a look inside Lawrence Technological University Athletics. We had a chance to chat one-on-one with one of the LTU marching band members to find out why she chose LTU.
My name is Erica Morrissey. I am the piccolo section leader, but I also play flute when it comes to time to perform in a more concert setting. I was just like, I really want to continue my music throughout college, and I really liked Lawrence Tech, and when I found out there was a marching band, I was like, that's awesome, but I was always a little concerned about, like, I've never marched before, how far behind am I gonna be, like, what's this gonna be like? I can't take the heat. But everyone here was like so welcoming and just so willing to like teach everyone. It's a very low stress marching band. We don't do competitions, so it's very much a group of friends, almost family, that just go and plays at football games on Saturday. It's a good community space, especially the freshman dorm. I was really nervous because like this was my first time away from home. I didn't know anybody, but in the freshman dorm, there's open areas everywhere, so you can just go sit, work on homework out in the open, and then someone will come join you and just start up conversations, and everyone's just really friendly and understanding.
If you want to learn more about the marching band or becoming a member of the marching band, check out LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself.
I'm Ryan Slocum, and we are on the west side at East Kentwood for the girls' water polo state title game between East Grand Rapids and Hudsonville. We pick it up tied at 1. Anna Milnes passes it back to Maeve McLaughlin. The senior fires a shot from way back, up and over for the goal. EGR takes a 2-1 lead. Hudsonville comes right back off the penalty. Jenna Kuiper passes to Ellie Tuttle, then to Taylor Wilson, who finishes it off with the goal. The Eagles tie it up at 2 apiece. Hudsonville now up 1. Pioneers looking to tie it back up. Milnes holding off the defender, gives it back to Maeve McLaughlin, who sends it in front to Halia Mitchell. She finds the back of the net. Mitchell scored a team-high 3 goals for the Pioneers. Tied at 3 now. Hudsonville bringing it into the offensive zone. Jenna Kuiper draws the foul, then gives it to Ellie Tuttle, who fires it up and over for the goal. The Eagles take the lead right back at 4-3. The Pioneers moving the ball up the pool with just seconds left. Cameron Kerr with a nice lead pass to Claire Whitting. She grips it and rips it for the buzzer-beating goal. That would tie it up at 4 apiece at the break. The Eagles on the move. Tuttle passing it up to Kuiper, who draws another foul. She then passes it to Taylor Wilson, who unloads the rocket for the score. Hudsonville takes a 2-goal lead. Wilson had a team-high 3 goals for the Eagles. EGR now down 6-4, but they gain possession off the penalty. McLaughlin sends it up the middle for Mitchell. She fights through traffic and bounces it in for the score. The Pioneers cutting the lead down to 1. Eagles back with it. Tess Wilson has the ball in front. She gets the foul called. That sets up a penalty shot. Wilson taking the throw. She fires it in. That gives Hudsonville a 2-goal cushion at 7-5. The Pioneers do cut the lead down to 1. Then in the final seconds of play, the Eagles keeper with a pair of clutch saves to hold on to the lead for the win. Hudsonville holds on to beat East Grand Rapids 7-6. They take home their 5th state championship in program history.
It was more of incredible to see these girls coming together, and I was just telling them with the testing and the quarantines that we had and not having a full team ever really the entire season, to put it all together at the end means that much more. So it was an awesome way to end the season.
I just love my teammates and they're amazing, and shout out to my coaches who are just incredible and support me through everything. The positive encouragement is incredible.
State Champs Michigan's high school sports show is brought to you in part by the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards. Hey everybody, welcome back to another update in our state champs total softball player of the year race. Donnie Dreyer is here, and this is a big week. We are freezing the final top 10. This is our last opportunity to make any changes into the top 10. The top 10 that goes from this point forward is our final top 10 before we announce the final 4 a week from Wednesday. We record this on Wednesday, so in 1 week. And we're making changes. We're making 3 changes.
Yes, we are.
All right, so why don't you just go over those if you want. I'll tell you the player who is coming off. You explain the player who's going on.
You got it.
I got it? Okay.
Yep, you got it.
So first off, and again, all outstanding players. We all know how difficult this is to make these decisions. We're talking about 10 players in the entire state and an incredible community of softball players this year. The talent is unreal. Yeah. All right, as usual. So Kendall Klokak is coming off of the list. Who is moving on?
Yeah, that's the Purdue commit. Had a great season. Unfortunately, Grand Blanc got beat in the pre-districts. Coming on for her is a junior, Macy Ireland from Owasso. She is a Kent State commit. Macy's been having a great year. Hitting-wise, she's hitting almost .550. And then pitching-wise, listen to these numbers. She's got over 400 strikeouts and just over 200 innings. Record 31-3. Could not keep her off. And Owasso's still in it, so she's got a shot to take her team all the way to the title.
Okay, the next one, Regan Bennett is coming off of the list. Who is going in?
Regan Bennett, maybe the top prospect pitcher in the state of Michigan. I haven't clocked anyone. That's my gun. That's not mom or dad's gun. My gun. I've never clocked anyone in the state of Michigan throwing as hard as she is. So only a sophomore. She'll be on our pre-list next year. But going on for her is a freshman, Ava Bradshaw from South Lyon. And Ava, who's always been on our watch list, the second half of the season, she's just taken off. Not only does she bat third in her lineup, hitting about .450, but pitching-wise, nobody has faced the competition that she has. She's already pitched against over 10 top 10 teams in the state of Michigan. I mean, she's seen Wall Lake Northern, she's seen Allen Park, she's seen Mercy, she's seen Howell. She's pitched against them all and done very well.
All right, and then finally, Lauren Saborski's coming off the list. Who's going in?
Lauren Saborski, again, great season. She's finished with 22 home runs, which is in the top 10 ever in the state of Michigan. Going on is a girl by the name of Jenna Blevins. She is a senior from Flat Rock. She is committed to Hartford. Jenna's been on our watch list again all year long. She's just been steady. In fact, her nickname is Steady Eddie. Hitting .550, 16 home runs, and she's that extra person that's now on our top 10.
Okay, so the top 10 is now complete. The way the timeline will work now is that voting will end on Monday, June 14th at noon. And what that means is, because you can clearly go and see that there is one particular athlete that is running away with the vote. She is, and her team is still playing, but she is going to win the vote. However, it does matter, and I know we have some players who've come in here, obviously at the end of the game, so their vote total is not going to be anywhere near what some others are, but it's just good as a trend to see, if there is some strong support that comes right out of the gate here. And then what we will do is we are going to do our Final Four. The plan is, as of right now, is to do it live. And the plan very well could happen is that we do it at Total Softball. There's actually going to be a softball event that's going on there. So maybe we'll have a backdrop of some softballers who are into it.
Unveil the Final Four.
And unveil the Final Four live, flaws and all. So who knows what kind of bloopers we'll get out of that particular situation. But that's when we do it. And then our champion will be selected soon after. So the last thing, you had a couple shout-outs.
I did have a couple shout-outs. One is for Sam Sutton, the Dexter senior pitcher. Sam had a great year, but what she did on regionals, she shuts out the #1 team in the state, Howell. And then she turns around and she's got Hartland shut out for 6 innings. Unfortunately, they gave up 200 runs in the 7th. But to have back-to-back performances, and she's already had a great career. Sam has had a number of D1 offers, but she's opted to accept a rowing scholarship going to the University of Michigan. So just a shout out for Sam. That was an incredible performance against 2 top 3 teams in the state, and she almost beat them both in the same day. And then the other one we've got to mention, a former kid that we talked about in our Player of the Year race, Josie Muffley, the shortstop from Florida State, now has her team in the finals against Oklahoma.
Finally, you guys have another huge podcast this week. Swing Away has been great. You had a coaches panel on before that had great success. You've got another one.
Yeah, we got another one coming up. Brian Chittister put this one together. And I know for certain Central Michigan's going to be on it, and a few other coaches. Grand Valley, Dana from Grand Valley is going to be there as well. So I think we've got a panel of 4 or 5 coaches, and we're going to have another great conversation. Highly encourage kids and parents to tune in and get some good information.
All right, Swing Away podcast drops on Fridays. You can find that on the State Champs Network. Okay, big week ahead. Good luck to all the competitors still competing.
Nights out there, 1, 2, 3, nice! Royal Oak Shrine taking on Richmond in a Division III regional semifinal at Rochester Hills Lutheran Northwest. I'm Greg Molson with the highlights, and the Blue Devils jump on top in the second. Hunter Jansen with the hard bouncer to third, too hot to handle. That brings in Hudson Davenport with the first run of the game. The Devils still with 2 runners on in the inning when Carson Gee hits one into the gap in right center. That brings in both Skylar Lowers and Denny Saligan to make it 3-0. Moving to the third, the Blue Devils turn up the power. First, it's Joe Parinello hitting one deep to right center. It is over the fence for a solo home run. The next batter is Hudson Davenport, and he makes it back-to-back solo shots, hitting it over the fence and right to make it 5-0. Then, with a runner on first, it's Mitch Dabelar going deep to left for a 2-run home run. Richmond up 7-0. And you can make it 8-0 in the fourth after Reese Rinna singles to bring in Carson Gee. Shrine not giving up though, finally getting on the board with 4 runs in the fifth. Marty Hannon with a line shot to center to bring in 2 runs to cut the lead in half. And the Knights add 1 more in the sixth. Kevin Wright with the pop-up to shallow center. The Blue Devils drop it. Owen Kelly racing for third. And when the throw gets away, he gets to go home to cut the lead to just 3 at 8-5. But that would be it as Davenport closes it out in the seventh. Richmond beats Royal Oak Shrine 8-5 and will move on to take on Hemlock in the regional finals Saturday at Saginaw Valley State University.
You know, in this type of game, you know, that's huge. To get off to a hot start and they score 8 runs on them, you know, that's where you want in big games like this and just keep the momentum going.
Make it a better, closer game than it should have been, but I'm really happy with the way our approach is at the plate because their pitcher was pretty dominant early. Luckily, we were just as good hitting-wise off them also.
State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Michigan High School Athletic Association.
I'm Jake Vanderbrook from the Northeast Michigan area. Region 26 finals out in Inland Lakes as the Saints of St. Ignace collide with the Hillman Tigers. Bottom of the first, Tigers on the move. Jessica Jones shoots one in the left for a base hit. That's going to score Nicole Barbo and Cassidy Binnack. 2-0 Hillman. Next batter, it may not be the prettiest, but Brooke Bennett gets the job done as she floats one in the center for a base knock. Melanie Morrison makes her way home. 3-0 after 1. St. Ignace would try to climb back into this ball game with a runner in scoring position. Emily Archambault laces this one out the left for an RBI single. Addison Cheeseman makes her way around the bases. The Saints cut it to 5. But Hillman took control of this game. How about another RBI from Bennett? This time she laces this one out the center as Morrison comes home to score. First time since 2015, the Tigers win a regional crown as they take down St. Ignace 7-4.
I'm Greg Moles in Goodrich for a great matchup in the girls soccer regional semifinals. DeWitt, ranked number 1 in the state in Division II, taking on Bloomfield Hills Marion, who had won the last 3 D2 state titles. It's the Mustangs attacking early. Olivia DeConnick racing in. She makes the pass, but the Panthers keeper Kennedy Pugh just knocks it away, and Darcy Satkowiak clears it out of the box. Marion with another chance on a corner kick. The Panthers head it out, but the Mustangs keep attacking. Elle Irvin gets it to Audrey Flynn, who touches it to Maria Ascudis, who fires it into the net. Marion goes up 1-0, 8 minutes into the game. DeWitt looking to answer just 2 minutes later. It's Mara Lynch letting it fly from outside the box, but the shot is wide, so it remained a 1-goal game going into the second half. Abby Lucchese looking to add to the Marion lead from distance. This shot is pegged for the upper corner, but check out Kennedy Pugh with the diving save, keeping the Panthers in it. They wouldn't get many opportunities. Ainsley Riegler with a rare shot here, but Isabel Toma right there for the stop, and Marion holds on for the shutout, knocking off DeWitt and advancing to take on St. Clair in the regional final.
It was pretty stressful since we got a goal in the first 10 minutes and then you're forced to defend for the rest of the game, but that's how championship teams are made and that's what this game's all about, so it was fun.
I'm Kevin Trzynski, and we go to Parker Middle School in Howell for a Division I semifinals matchup in boys lacrosse. The Shamrocks of Detroit Catholic Central and the Heartland Eagles. The Shamrocks trying to punch their 7th straight finals ticket, but standing in the way are the Eagles, who have been outstanding all season long. Heartland crushing the competition, winning 19 in a row coming into tonight's match, and their only loss on the season comes against EC's bitter rivals, Brother Rice. Heartland up a digit early in the first, and they look to add more. The senior Eagle, Charlie Anderson, works this one behind the net, and he will make his way out front and fires it home. That far side shot has Heartland up 2-0. The Eagles playing great defense throughout the game as the Shamrocks struggle to make something happen. But Josh Lalik makes the adjustment as he sprints to the outside, and the senior lets loose a shot that hits the back of the net. Shamrocks cut into the lead at 2-1. These Eagles flying high right off the bat. Bo Lockwood with the nice dish to fellow junior Ryan Krause, and the low shot gets through. Heartland up 4-1 at the end of the first. CC still keeping it close here in the second. Senior Troy McKee with the rock being covered well by the Eagles D, but spots Jack Kirkwood wide open in front of the net, and the junior gets the easy goal. CC down 2, score 4-2. But Heartland comes right back to answer. More from the senior Charlie Anderson, working his magic from behind the net. The nice spin-in shot hits the top right corner, and the Eagles starting to heat up, and they now lead 5-2. This kid cannot be stopped. Here comes Charlie Anderson again with the attack, but not from behind the net, showing how versatile the senior really is with the strong shot that hits the twine. That's the hat-trick goal for Anderson, and he led the Eagles with 5 as they head into the break up big at 9-2. Coming back from halftime, Heartland continued to score at an alarming rate. Anderson quickly over to Bo Lockwood, and the junior puts the biscuit in the basket. Lockwood would also net a hat-trick on this night, and the Eagles up 12-5 at the end of the third. This one was all Heartland. Here's junior Josh Wader turning on the Jets and puts in his lone goal off the bounce. Heartland defeats Catholic Central 18-7 and advance to the Division I state finals, where the Eagles will face Brother Rice on Saturday at 2 p.m.
I'm Ryan Slocum in Brighton for a Division II girls lacrosse state semifinal between Farmington Hills Mercy and Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook Kingswood. These two teams have already met 3 times this season, with the Marlins winning the first game while the Cranes won the final 2. Off the opening face, Jill Smith fires it up to Kate Brady, and the sophomore does the rest. She knifes through the defense and scores the game's first goal. Mercy takes the lead just 15 seconds in. The Cranes then answer 23 seconds later. Lola Norton turns and fires. She ties it at 1 with only 38 ticks off the clock. Jill Smith then starts to take charge. The senior captain fakes high and goes low to give the Marlins a 2-goal lead with 18.5 to play. But Cranbrook answers with 4 straight goals to move in front. Lily Sherman with the long pass ahead to Norton. She can't be stopped, finding the back of the net. Another great look here. Ella Lantigua to a cutting Rhea Batra. She takes a licking, but keeps on ticking. The Cranes up 2. Peyton Smith starts to flex her muscle on the other end. The senior captain scored 3 goals in the final minutes of the half. And I told you, she's flexing on them. Mercy's still down 10-9 at the half. But Smith stays hot coming out of the locker room. She fights through traffic for her 5th goal of the game. The Marlins scored 3 straight to start the half. They're up 12-10 with 21 minutes to go. But Mercy's offense goes ice cold while Cranbrook gets red hot. Batra bounces it home. Then it's Paige Picayune to the senior Avery Saleson for the catch and shoot. The Cranes scored 13 straight in the final 20 minutes, including this goal that just trickles in by Sherman. Cranbrook Kingswood beats Farmington Hills Mercy 23-12. The Cranes will face East Grand Rapids for the Division II state championship on Saturday.
It was really like our halftime talk. We really we're like, we want this, like we need to make it just like 25 more minutes left to make it to states, and that just kind of like turned it around for us.
I don't even think that we can explain it this year because we've been working so hard and doing it all together, and I think we want it for each other more than anything. And we were in quarantine early in the season, and so it was really hard to push through, but we were thinking about this moment when we knew that we were going to states and that we can fight for each other, and we really want that ring.
This entire school year, our goal has been 3 seasons that all reach the finish line. With just a few weeks to go, it looks like we'll follow through on that promise we've made all of our member schools. Our fall season was the most disjointed, not ending until late January. Winter ran a little over a month behind schedule. Spring has been mostly on track with what we've seen in past years. This was especially important to me because all of our spring kids lost their entire season in 2020. Our member schools have done a tremendous job navigating the ever-changing landscape and jumping over every hurdle with COVID that's been put in front of them. Without everyone coming together for the benefit of our student athletes, it would have been a much more difficult for us to accomplish this goal of 3 seasons, all reaching the finish. We here at the MHSAA are extremely proud and happy, and truth be told, a little bit relieved, that all of us working together have navigated the most unique school year in the almost 100-year history of the MHSAA. Thanks to everyone that pitched in, made adjustments, so we could have those 3 seasons that all ended with champions being crowned. For more information, visit us at our website, mhsaa.com.
Now that was an awesome show. Shout out to the State Champs production team for all their hard work this week and every week for that matter. One more show to go for us this season and one more State Champs Scout show. If you haven't checked out our season-long recruiting show, check it out now at our website, our YouTube channel, and our streaming app, or watch the clips on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. The final show of the season drops on Wednesday.
I know everyone is looking forward to summer officially beginning, but before that, there is going to be some incredible high school sports this week as baseball, softball, and girls soccer race to see who will be state champions. If you get a chance, go support the teams. Get out there. It's great.
Absolutely. The Total Softball Player of the Year Final Four will be announced this Wednesday across the network. The plan is to do it live. If you're catching the premiere of this show, voting ends at noon on Monday, June 14th. All right, let's end on a high note, shall we? Here we go. Rochambeau.
Gotcha.
Low note, another low note. Happy graduation. State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. And the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association, a proud partner of State Champs. For all things high school baseball coaching in Michigan, visit mhsbca.org.